In Antarctica, challenging conditions are a constant. Scenic Eclipse is entering a stretch of water filled with icebergs. With almost 90% of an iceberg's mass residing below the surface, navigating such a passage is an intricate operation for Captain Irwan and his team.
Yes.
Taking the beautiful tour.
Yes, exactly. We're heading towards the peninsula. Right now we are sailing through beautiful big icebergs. We are using the radar, so here you have the ship and you can see all these yellow dots. These are the icebergs. But we also want to make it a little bit scenic for the guests. We just want to zigzag nicely to offer them a beautiful view. This route, and we'll see how it is by Rosamel over there, but we know also that we can come a little closer than this route. Tack, tack, tack. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. You can find here two types of icebergs. A piece of glacier that detached. It can be last week or even several months, few years ago, or it can be a piece of ice shelf, and these ones are the tabular iceberg, the flat ones that we have right now in front of us. The danger here is that because it's fresh water and it's floating, there is a big part of it that is underwater that we don't see. It is very strong, solid ice. So at the speed that we are making, about 30 knots, you would damage the ship. Also, some of these icebergs are so big, they create around them a current that can be attracting, that can be a danger for the ship. So that's why we keep this safe distance to make sure that we are not coming too close.
One key feature of Scenic Eclipse's Polar Class 6 rating is its ice-strengthened hull. This means the ship has thicker steel in the bottom structure of the hull, and the frames that strengthen the hull are thicker, reinforced, closer together, and almost double the amount of most other ships. This gives Scenic Eclipse the ability to push through first-year ice. Scenic Eclipse has reached Brown Bluff, a million-year-old volcano at the northernmost part of the Antarctic Peninsula.
Today we're at Brown Bluff and we are going to go hang out with some Adelie penguins and look at some really incredible geology that you really can't find anywhere else in the peninsula.
My name is Jennifer. I am on the Discovery team, and my role on this team is geologist. So I am trying to get people interested in looking at Earth's processes and rocks and ice. Being down here with the wildlife, with the big landscapes that are down here, it just feels almost sacred down here. It's something that you can't recreate anywhere else in the world.
Oh, I have a backpack. Oh, what's that? Where's that at? Get out of my way, Pops. I really like coming here because I get to talk about rocks. And this is one place where people can see them and they can care about them. We're gonna go to shore and we're gonna set the route. So make sure that there's kind of a place that you can walk that you're disturbing the least amount of wildlife.
Have a wonderful day at school, kids.
Thank you. We'll give you a report card later.
Go ahead, Lisa.
How about the next group?
Perfect, I'll send the next group down now, thank you very much. Okay, Blue Group 1, thank you very much. You can now head down to the mudroom.
We're from Canada. I know it doesn't sound like it, we're originally from England, but we've always wanted to come to Antarctica, always. It's a bucket list trip. It's magical, it's like being on Mars or the moon.
It's a different planet.
Yeah.
Grab my arm, step onto the zodiac, onto the yellow.
Thank you.
Take a seat right there.
Oh, wow. And they're just doing their own thing. That's marvelous.
Here, give you guys a shore briefing. First thing is, welcome to Antarctica! Yeah. We made it.
We made it.
Once you're out of the zodiac, feel free to grab a trekking pole here. Please stay out of the ice. It's melting, cracking, falling. Also the tide's rising, it's moving around. So we have the trail marked.
So this is Brown Bluff. It's probably one of the coolest geology spots in the peninsula. So the penguins are cool, but the penguins wouldn't be here unless we had these rocks. Unless you had exposed rocks, there'd be nowhere for these penguins to nest.
They have to nest on the ground.
They need to nest on the ground.
It's not sexy science, right? Sexy science is whales, penguins, seals. Rocks don't move, they don't breathe. There's nothing dynamic about rocks. So you have to be excited and you have to tell them why it's cool.
It's actually an old volcano. So this is a volcano that erupted underneath a glacier. But these are the rocks that I think make this place so unique. So these rocks have rolled down. So once they got here, they got shaped by the wind. And it makes these really incredible shapes. They almost look like you've sculpted them by hand. And so what we call these in geology is ventifacts. This is really young. It's ash layers, it's tuff layers. It's only about 1 million years old. And in geology, that's a baby. That's a baby rock, right? I think Guest had a spectacular time. I think they're buzzing right now. I think everyone is just, the energy level is so high. You can feel that people are really excited to be here. Seeing the Adelie, seeing the Gentoo, seeing the chicks, seeing the geology. We're heading back to the ship now, and we're gonna start repositioning for tomorrow's activities.
Dear guests, good evening. Here is your captain from the bridge. We are now going to start heading south towards Snow Wheel Island. It's 100 kilometers further south. And we're going to start with a very scenic navigation through the Fridtjof Strait, which is just ahead of us. Let's hope that the ice conditions and the wind conditions there permit for us to go further south. So I wish you a great, great evening. Do not hesitate to spend lots of time outside, even after dinner. Bon appétit. We left the Antarctic Sound last night. We looked at the different options where to find a spot available in the area that is has the less wind. We picked here Penguin Island because of the specificity of the volcano, but unfortunately the wind is much more than expected.
Just because it's the wind direction.
Yeah, it's sliding down from the glacier.
We're just looking at what our options are. Right?
Our expected and scheduled activity in this afternoon in Penguin Island, we cannot do it. So we're looking at options. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we're going to land at Turret.
For sure, yeah.
Just come in this way. We can watch it for the afternoon if it decreases back to forecast of 15 to 20. But
do you think they will not kayak along the coast over there with this?
They've already canceled the kayaking.
They have already canceled.
Conditions are rough. Winds are high all around the area, and pressure is mounting on Captain Irwan to find a location for a successful expedition. With strong winds affecting the Guests' expedition to Penguin Island, the team pivots to Plan B, a potential beach landing at Turret Point, but conditions are worsening.
It's definitely choppy. The team are going to now drop the Zodiacs. They're going to scout the 2 different sites that we were hoping to do this morning.
Bridge, Jason.
Jason, go for bridge.
Yes, Manuel. Hey, I just want to let you know that I'm going to go ahead and head to shore to assess conditions since the weather is kicking up a bit. I really want to make the determination if we're going to keep this going or if we need to break it down. How's the conditions been over here on this side? Because I know Coming in, it's been pretty nasty.
Oh yeah, the wind settled down for a bit, starting to come back up again, kind of in the lee of the cliffs.
Look really rough, but yeah, the right track. Okay.
So we can close this down.
Yep.
We had to get all the team back to the ship as quickly as possible.
This is the second expedition abandoned due to the unpredictable Antarctic weather conditions. Jason and the captain will need to come up with a new plan fast.
Hey.
Hi, Jason. How was it?
It was rough out there.
Yeah?
You know, definitely between the ship and the landing site, it was so exposed.
As you can see, it's not getting better.
No.
Down south, it looks like tomorrow we should be able to find some shelter around Siervakov and Mikkelsen, maybe around the Gerlach anyway, down south. But I was thinking maybe this evening with the timing, we should be able to sail by Deception.
A surprising delay.
Yeah, 10 a.m.,
10:30.
We still have lots of time to reach Siervakov tomorrow, and then we spend a few days in the Gerlach.
Okay. Well, let's keep the surprising delight in our pocket.
Captain Irwan's plan is to travel to Deception Island, a horseshoe-shaped island formed from the caldera of an old volcano. Its large and unusually safe natural harbor lies beyond a narrow opening between high cliffs. But conditions will need to be calm enough to make the passage possible. As Captain Irwan leads Scenic Eclipse towards Deception Island, in the galley, Chef Tom is also having to adapt to the Antarctic conditions.
When you go on an expedition cruise to Antarctica, you need to be extremely creative and open-minded enough to change your menus accordingly. This place in the world is just not made for a set-up menu. Our big mission is to not use any frozen items. We want to be sustainable as possible, and we want to use products in the most creative way all the way to the end of the source. So I want to give 3 very humble ingredients: just lemon, cabbage, and a beautiful goat cheese local from Argentina. And I want to do a beautiful cheese course for Lumia. Lumia is our little modern French cuisine restaurant. The idea is to make modern French food, meaning it should remember you at French ingredients, but it shouldn't fill you up as traditional French food, and it should have a twist here and there.
After prepping his humble ingredients, Chef Tom goes straight to work in the kitchen. The tables have turned as he puts his own abilities to the test, hoping to satisfy the Lumiere chefs and their guests.
So I baked the whole lemons in salt in the oven for about 2 hours, and then make a puree out of it. And then took all the kale and cabbage and dehydrated. And when you dehydrate cabbage, it becomes sweet. So this is quite salty. So it needs something bitter to go against it. I don't think we should overdo the dish himself. Then put the cabbage on. And we finish with a little bit of olive oil. You have all the textures there as well.
Okay, it's nice combination.
Texture between the cheese and cabbage.
Good, I'm happy with that. I hope they like it as much as we do. Okay.
Hi.
How are you tonight?
Great, thank you.
Okay, we have created a beautiful new cheese course in the kitchen, inspired by the challenges of Antarctica himself. So it's a local goat cheese with a fermented lemon puree, where we use also the skin of it, and then dehydrated kale and red cabbage.
Lovely.
I hope you like it as much as I do. Enjoy.
Cheers, darling. It's kind of humble, isn't it?
Alright, first cheese course is out. Guests really like it. They love it, to be honest. They eat the whole plate, so I think you're gonna put it on the menu, yeah? Perfect. Thank you. When you sit down and you get the goat cheese, and then the bitterness of the lemon and this creaminess together with the crunchiness and the sweetness of the cabbage just created a beautiful dish.
So it's just after 9 p.m. right now. We are approaching a Deception Island. It's a caldera. So basically it's an extinct volcano that is sunk. It's quite unique, this kind of volcano like this. When you see one, there are not so many on the planet. It's a good opportunity to come and sail by.
As numerous guest activities were recently affected due to the weather, Captain Irwan is determined to find an alternative opportunity for guests to ensure this expedition is a true success.
Okay, so I've monitored the route for you, and you can start to reduce a bit, huh? Yeah. The entrance is very narrow. It looks wide, but unfortunately, underwater you have rocks, so there is a very narrow passage. At this time of the year, there is already a lot of currents, so if in addition to this we have 30 knots of winds, it's not really reasonable to go in. Yeah. Can we have the fire patrol on the bridge also, please? Steady 170.
Steady course 170.
We'll close the bridge for the entrance if we go in. I think it looks like it's doable. Our staff will kindly ask the people to leave us for the passage.
Right now, we have current and wind that are very unstable at the entrance, so we don't need to have disturbance from guests. We will offer the guests the possibility to experience everything from the observation deck, but we have to be very tight.
Okay.
Despite the current high winds and narrow entry point, Captain Irwan has decided to take on the channel and enter into the center of Deception Island.
I'll need you to be very precise. I'll give you some advice in terms of steering, drifting, and etc. Okay? So in this situation, you have to react very quickly. Okay? The wind is very unstable. Huh? So I will probably start a little bit north due to this wind, and it will give us time to see how much drift we have. Perfect, 270. We'll start to feel gusts, so be ready. Keep an eye on the current also. Like this, 270. 271. 273.
Going to starboard 5, sir.
274. Starboard 10. Very good job. Very well done. Captain, now we stand down. Yes, finish forward. They can secure everything. We are inside the caldera. You see, it's huge, huge, really exceptional.
They're through. A testimony to Captain Irwan's complete trust in his team and in the power of the ship to safely navigate even the most difficult environments.
It went very well. Today was relatively challenging. The wind was quite irregular. Yeah, it feels good when you succeed these kind of challenges, yeah. So, go ahead. Well, there is only one entrance and one exit, which is the same. So we're going to swing around and start the other way. That was not an easy one. Huh? Thank you, staff. It was very good, the exchange of information.
Overnight, Scenic Eclipse has sailed to Sierra Cove, one of the most spectacular spots in the region.
You know you're in another planet here. The contrast between the ocean and the ice and the mountains in the background, it's very, very peaceful.
After days of challenging conditions, Jennifer from the Discovery team is able to lead guests on an expedition.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so I'm gonna have you come across and sit at the front for me, okay?
There's so many magical things about coming down here. You're going somewhere that less than 1% of the world will ever see. And I have the privilege to come here over and over and over again. So today we are in Sierra Cove. We're gonna go for a Zodiac cruise. We're gonna see what we can see, find what we can find.
Welcome to Sierra Cove. It's a beautiful part of Antarctica. Yes. So these penguins here are chinnies, chin straps. They're the medium-sized brushtail. It's really cool to look at the base on the mountain because it sticks out, right? This is a big granite mountain covered in snow. When it gets warmer in the summer, this mountain actually is green because we're so, oh, there's a humpback whale in front of us. Oh, there he is, beautiful, right here.
It's been a long wait, but it was worth it.
That was incredible. This guy could be sleeping. It looked a bit like that. They do a few breaths up and down and then they take a deeper dive and then they'll come up again. Oh my gosh, right in front of us. Oh, scared me. Okay. Oh, blood pressure way high. We're gonna make our way back to the ship slowly, see what we can see on the way back. But thanks for coming out. This was awesome. We haven't seen a whale in here yet, so that was awesome. And seeing it that close. Yeah, it's just a great day to be out in there. We just watched a sleeping whale, like in Antarctica.
Next time on Maritime Masters.
I'm gonna head out on a recon flight. Weather's closing in, so we're gonna get this done quick.
A unique experience through the ice.
How can you complain on a day like today? It's pretty amazing.
And Jason leads a once-in-a-lifetime moment for two guests.
I'm looking for that perfect place for an incredible surprise.